much needed upgrades on the front suspension, steering system, power steering, all that stuff on the car. Much needed stuff. But first, we're gonna head to the gym, get a quick workout in, and then we'll head to the shop. Catch you there. Just made it to the shop, got it in up on jack stands, and I've actually been just working on the car, getting it taken apart, kind of getting my plan for the day going, and haven't filmed much, but I'm gonna get the steering rack out and start by loosening the tie rod ends and everything. I'll throw some clips in here. Get these loose, sometimes it's nice to put the castle nut upside down if you're going to reuse the tie rod end. I'm not, but just for the sake of teaching, if you put the nut on there and then smack this, it will break that loose. That way you're not messing the threads up if you are reusing the tie rod end. Just a little tip. Pull that out, and then we can disconnect the rack from under here. So we got to disconnect these lines here and the steering shaft from the rack itself. And then there's these bolts here, one through here and then one under here. Let's see what that is bent. I need to hammer that back in. And then same here, one bolt here, one here, and then the rack should come right out. So the rack is out. It was easy to get the rack out, but this was kind of a pain. This the factory like cooler for the power steering. Easy, but there's a bracket like right in here that is bolted to the subframe, but it's really hard to get to it with the subframe in the car, so that was kind of a pain. But we got it out, got the bushings off. I'm gonna clean these up and reuse them because these are pretty new. It's just filthy. You can see how leaky this thing was. It's so bad. You can actually see all of the fluid that just seeped into the factory undercoating, and it's everywhere under here. It is an absolute mess. So I'm gonna get some brake cleaner, clean everything up as good as I can off the engine and the subframe and everything. And I need to, you saw on those clips, I need to hammer this back where something, the subframe was caught on something and it ripped it out. But everything is very greasy under here, which was to my benefit because nothing was seized up and this all came out really easy. Now I'm working on, I got the intercooler piping off, getting the reservoir off, got the drain unhooked. I'm about to unhook the high pressure, pull this out, and then we'll start opening up all the new stuff that we got and put it in. This is out. It is really nice to get rid of this, put it in our junk pile. Frees up a lot of space. I'm gonna clean all this up because it's a little dusty. Remove the high pressure and some other lines, the little idle switch that's not even used anymore. Then get to cleaning everything up. This high pressure bolt for the power steering is actually a 24 millimeter. It's kind of a large socket. But luckily, I have all the right tools. I've really never had a chance to even use these, so it's nice to get a chance to use them. It doesn't require a lot of torque, so I'm just gonna use a little drop down from 3/8 to 1/2 inch. Get this off. Shouldn't be very hard to break it loose. There we go. Easy enough. I've actually had this apart whenever I rebuilt this pump, so that's very easy to do. Banjo bolt out of here, and we'll be good to go. The new kit, which I haven't even shown you guys any of that, replaces this with an AN fitting, which is really nice. Let me get this out of here. It's all out of the way, and I actually took the igniter and stuff off and moved it over here so I can clean all this up. I'm gonna use Tough Stuff for all this dust and grease, and then I'll use brake cleaner on everything down below because it's pretty grimy. And the wire that was running here was just for the like EGT stuff that was here factory. I'm gonna bunch it all up with the rest of the harness up here. Nothing's really tucked on this except the engine harness. I have the Wiring Specialties Pro Series harness, but the body harness is all still in the factory location, which I like. It's easier to service in my opinion. So get all this scrubbed up and then start cleaning the engine and the underneath. And I've actually got new motor mounts too in this box that I'm gonna do today as well. All right, everything up here is pretty clean. Even got down in all these crevices, remove some of the brackets. This chassis is really clean and straight, luckily. And I'm gonna pull the engine out eventually and redo everything in here, repaint it, remove all these brackets I don't need, and repaint it and everything, make it look pretty. But for now, I'm just gonna clean it up the best I can because this setup just works so good. It'd be a shame to get rid of it now. But it's clean up top, now we're gonna clean up the bottom. The sheer amount of grime and grease is absolutely abysmal under here. I got it cleaned up pretty good, but it really needs to come out to be perfect. But I'm gonna actually go ahead and do the mounts because I have such good access to them. Do those quick and then just put everything back in. But it's clean enough for now. Once the engine comes out and everything, it'll be fine. I'll have everything pressure washed and fix this and re-weld the subframe. Probably just get a new subframe, to be honest. But yep, let's change these mounts real quick. I'll show you what we have. So along with the J-Replace rack and the ISR power steering kit, which I haven't even shown you yet, I have these new factory motor mounts. There's solid mounts in it now and it just vibrates to high heaven. So got the new transmission mount, which I don't know if I'm gonna do this yet. But we're gonna at least do the engine mount, so it'll be quick. Fingers crossed. So bad news, I will not be doing these motor mounts. They did not come with hardware, and the solid mounts it has on it now have a through bolt and a nut instead of 4 nuts. So I can only find one in my stash of nuts and bolts, which is unfortunate. So I'll just have to do these mounts another day. But for now, we just get the power steering system out and I'll show you all that stuff. So here's everything we have for the power steering. Got our brand new J-Replace rack, GK Tech outer tie rods, inner tie rods that came with this, boots, and then the high pressure line for the power steering pump to the rack. I've already got the fittings that came with the kit in here. And then the low pressure stuff and drain, and then the ISR reservoir, its respective brackets, and everything to do this, to replace all this junk with this new stuff. So we're gonna start by probably putting the power steering reservoir on because it just looks cool. And I'll show you how all that goes onto the pump and everything. As this goes to the pump, to the rack. We might start with the rack first. For anyone who's never done this before, it's pretty simple. The inner tie rod, zoom out, is this. This threads into the end of the rack like this. And then the outer tie rod goes here and then connects to the knuckle, and then that's what steers the car. So we're gonna try with the rack and get this put in, get it all assembled and put in. So before we put the boots on, actually we need to center the rack. And if you watched my angle kit install video on the drift car, you already know how to do this. But if you haven't, well, I'll link the video here. You can go watch it if you want, or I'll show you right now. So basically what that means is we have to have equal space from here, from the end of the inner tie rod to the rack body itself. And on this other side, most racks are this way. You have to go to the inside here, where it actually, not this outer lip, the inner lip, from here to here. So we're just gonna measure that. Let's measure this side first. We've got So it's just under 2.5 inches. And then here, it's kind of tricky to do this one if the tape measure won't fit all the way in there. So since it's kind of hard to get the tape measure in here, you can use a ruler, but I just took a paint stick and just did this number here. See, that's right on the edge there, and then we can take this here. That's right on the edge there. You want to go till it stops, and there we have right on the edge. And it, you know, if it's a, you know, 1/2 millimeter off or something, it's not a huge deal. The alignment can correct for it, but we just want to make sure it's centered. You can get stops to put in place here once it's centered so it doesn't move once you put it in the car. But if you're careful, and then just recheck, and I'll actually take this measurement here with the tape measure, and then I'll check it on this side and this side once it's in the car, and just make sure that it's centered, or as close to centered as humanly possible without a alignment machine. So yeah, that's the basics of centering a rack. We're gonna get the boots put on, get these finally tightened down, and then get the boots on and get it in the car. The rack is in, everything is tight. Got the shaft hooked up and the steering wheel straight. Check my measurements and make sure the rack's still centered. And we'll be good to put the tie rod ends on and get it connected to the knuckle. And then we'll go up top and hook everything down from here up to the pump and the reservoir. Okay, so we got the boots on. Got them zip tied. It came with these metal clips, but they really didn't cooperate very good, so I just used a big zip tie. It's money. New clamp here, and I've got the new GK Tech tie rod ends put on, and I've got the wheel straight. I'll show you. The wheel is straight, and then, I mean, it's still gonna need an alignment, but I tried to get it as close as I could to straight. I mean, it's really hard to tell on camera, but like, it's, you know, it's good for an eyeball alignment. So we've got castle nut on and the cotter pin. I still need to bend that. I'm gonna wait until I go to nut and bolt check everything else, but everything under here is tied up except hooking the power steering lines up to those right there, which is the next step. Everything is clean up here. Now we're gonna install the new reservoir and the lines, and we'll be ready to bleed it and see how it looks. So for this high pressure line, it doesn't come with a gasket with this fitting, but I went ahead and used one of the copper gaskets from the factory banjo bolt, just for peace of mind. It's good and snug and nothing will seep past that. And then this line will go, it's a nice AN line, seems high quality, good clamp fittings and stainless steel. This will go from here down to the rack on the high pressure fitting. So I'll get that hooked up and show you what it looks like. There's high pressure line hooked up, runs down, and it's pretty long, but it could stand to be a little shorter, to be honest, but I see why they make it long, just so you can have different options to run it. But it runs down to the rack, nice and clean. Everything went together smooth. It's not hitting anything. It's pretty perfectly routed, actually, even though it has a bit excess here, but nothing goes there anyway, so it is all good. This thing will not focus. There we go. Now we're going to do the low pressure side and the reservoir. All right, everything is installed now. The reservoir on, brackets and some new hardware. Got the drain and then the low pressure return going down to the rack. All looks good. I need to final tighten these black fittings, but this is all good. And then this just slips over on the drain, and it is so hard to get it on here. I couldn't get it any further than this. I just could not get it to go. But I put a clamp on it anyways, so that will not leak. I was worried about that just slipping on because the factory ones leak so bad, but that is super tight, which I'm happy about. One thing I'm disappointed in is this color on this powder coat is absolutely awful. I wish it was darker, like wrinkle black or something. I might paint it eventually, or repaint it whenever I redo the engine bay and stuff, because it just doesn't, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It certainly looks better than the factory one. It'll look cleaner when everything is back installed. But everything is on. I've got the tie rod ends fully, cotter pins bent, and the lock nut for the outer tie rod is good. And everything is hooked up. Everything's tight. Steering wheel is still straight, which is fantastic. I'm going to double check that everything is tight and then reinstall the intercooler piping and the intake. That way I can start it and then I'll fill the system with some power steering fluid, or actually ATF, because that's what Nissans take. Any Dexron 3 automatic transmission fluid is what Nissans take. Do not put regular power steering fluid in a older Nissan. You'll blow your seals in your rack and your pump out, and it's just gonna leak and not be a good time. So I use this stuff here. Suitable for Dexron 3 and everything else. So it's really good stuff. Cheap. I think this whole system might hold 2 quarts, but all right, I'm gonna double check everything's tight and then fill the system with fluid. I'll give you one last look at the rack. One last look at the rack, and everything is nice and brand new. Looks great. I wish I could get a lot more of this grime off, but I really just don't have the time nor the space to. This is all gonna come out. Everything is getting stripped, all this undercoat. It's all gonna get redone in the future once this engine comes out and the built motor goes in. But for now, it needed a rack and everything. It needed it very bad. So let's tighten everything up and then fill it with fluid. Okay, everything's back together. Got the intake on and the hot side pipe on. Everything is tight. It's full of fluid. I've already bled the system, but I figured I'd just recap everything now. Basically, when the system's empty, put fluid in it, turn the wheel back and forth until all the bubbles come out. Full lock one way, full lock the other way, and then start the engine. Do the same thing, and just as the fluid goes down, you top it off. It only took a quart to fill this up. As air pockets reach the top, I have an extra quart. I'll top it off and just check it once it settles and everything after driving. But everything works good. Everything, no leaks. Everything is great. Nice and brand new. Now it's like eyeball aligned for now. I'm gonna, a big diesel truck, throw the wheels on and drive it home, and then I'll get an alignment this week or as soon as possible, and then it'll be good to go. All right, everything is wrapped up on the car. The wheels are on. Everything is buttoned up, no leaks or anything, and the car is looking a little dirty sitting in here, but everything looks good. No leaks or nothing. Like I said, everything is great. Power steering's working flawlessly, so I'm curious to see how it feels on the road. My alignment actually is not terrible. Let me turn you around here. So my wheel's straight and not bad. It might be a little bit towed in, but it's not terrible. This side's towed out just a bit, but not, it is what it is. I have a short drive home, and then I will be getting an alignment this week, like I said, but car's good. Ready to get home, get it off the stands, and get rid of all this junk. It's so nice to have all this crap out of the way, and it looks way more modern and cleaned up for sure. I like it. I'm happy with it. Everything. I have so much more room down here as well, which is really cool. Getting rid of all that, where that little power steering cooler line ran. There's just so much space, and this is my AC line. I just have it tucked away right there because this car does have AC. I just need to find a way to make the 350Z compressor work because you can't buy these KA AC compressors anymore. So if anyone has any ideas about that, I have a 350Z condenser or compressor, but it just, the pulley is out a little too far, so I got to figure out how to swap it or find a solution. I don't know. If anyone has an idea, please let me know. But yeah, everything looks good. I'm happy with how much more room there is, like I said, and everything's clean. Needs painted, but everything is super clean and looks good. Everything down here is all nice and ready to go. Steering feels good. And that will do it on this one for the ISR power steering reservoir and line kit and the new J replace rack. I'm bummed about the motor mounts. I really wanted to get those done because it was like so easy and I was right there. I just didn't have the hardware, but that's okay. I can change them in about an hour another time, so not a big deal. Probably take less than that, to be honest, but yep, car's good. And anything else you guys might want to see on this car, I will record anything I do to it from here on out for the channel. But if there's anything in particular you want to see, I do have some new wheels that I'm hoping to get. I bid on them on auction. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You'll see when I get them. But keeping the TEs, but I also have another set of Holy Grail 90s JDM wheels that will look absolutely sick on this car. So anything you want to see for this car moving forward, just leave a comment, let me know, or DM me on Instagram or comment on my Instagram page. Just Eric Kinzer. I'll leave a link in the description for my Instagram. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, like I said, anything you want to see, let me know. I appreciate you guys watching this video. It might have been a bit all over the place, but I tried to do the best I could with filming this stuff and then getting it done in the time frame I had to do it. So if you guys know, filming stuff takes double the time. Once you're filming the process, you have to compensate for time. But that's gonna do it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. Put a comment down below what you think, if this helped you at all. I'm really appreciative of the feedback, and please remember to leave a like. It helps push out smaller channels like mine to a different audience or a newer audience. So I appreciate you guys watching, and we will catch you in the next one. I'm gonna do a recap of this previous drift season and go over the drift car, what broke, what I fixed, what I still have to do before this upcoming season. So stay tuned for that. I'll be doing that within the next few weeks. It's just been cold and I've been busy, so I haven't really had time to focus on the channel, but I'm just gonna do it when I can because I just enjoy this stuff. I don't really do it for views or popularity or whatever. I just enjoy making videos. I also enjoy this shit. Free plug. It's the best Celsius ever. Yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.